Holy crap, NL is playing goofball goals. Fuck this, I'm going to Nick's stream.
You rank all the YouTube personalities by how blowable they are.
Yep, alright. I mean, there's someone on the internet has probably done that. Most blowable YouTubers by Jackie Swanson. Number 1, PewDiePie. Number 2, Markiplier. And
guys, don't actually rank how blowable we are. It's going to make everyone feel bad.
In last, Rockley Smile.
Yep, yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I wanted to stop you before we got there. Don't worry, you'll always be blowable to us. Thank you, Chad.
Did you guys see that like Zach Braff story in that Ask Reddit thread where it's like, you know, what's a douchey celebrity encounter that you've had? And then someone was like, I went to a Montreal club and Zach Braff was there and he was like the biggest dick of all time. And then Zach Braff commented and was like, you're full of shit. Like, I've never even been to Montreal, something like that. And he's like, well, it was a story my friend told me. There's a story my friend told me, and then I've just been telling it to people slandering your name online for years.
For
but
no
look,
reason.
Don't blame me. Someone else told me, and then I told thousands of people, so don't blame me.
I don't even believe that in the first place. Zach Braff's super nice. I'm friends with him on MySpace.
I don't know. He could be a total shithead. I have no idea. But I don't have firsthand experience to confirm or deny it. You should kick that. Just see what happens.
I do. Zach Braff's super nice. If you're going to slander someone, at least slander them in the positive direction.
Yeah, you'd be like, I hung out with Gilbert Arenas at the, California fun spot, and he got a 92,000 point score in Centipede, which is pretty good for a professional athlete. Has Notch invited you to his house yet? No, I saw that Omrecker got invited to his house. Notch, if you're listening, whenever you're throwing that party, I'll fly down to your house. Scumbag Omrecker doesn't even need a passport to go there, but he's like, I'll take a rain check.
I would actually fly to California to visit Nodge's house.
No question.
Nick runs a series on his YouTube channel called People I've Never Met Impressions. You don't know if I met Zach Braff. Dude, I wish I met Zach Braff.
I don't really care. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Oh, now you're sure he's a nice guy. A minute ago, you weren't so sure.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. I mean, that's just the polite way of being like, I don't know if he's a nice guy. I don't really want to meet any celebrities. I think I'd just be awkward. I'd be like, hey, how was it in Batman? You'd be like, cool, it was all right. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. You give a shit about...
Who did you just meet that was in Batman?
I don't know. Maybe I'm talking to Danny DeVito.
Oh, that'd be sweet as hell. That guy seems like really funny.
I don't know.
All the time.
Though.
Why?
I met Danny DeVito in a Montreal club, and he was a shithead. Nick, have you ever taken Ambien?
No.
So, Kate and I were flying, and I can't sleep on airplanes because I get like an anxious, like a low hum of anxiety enough that I can't fall asleep. So I was like, doctor, can I have like some sleeping pills? I just need like one pill or something like that. She gave me like a week's worth of Ambien, and I haven't had it yet. But I wouldn't say I was looking forward to it. However, I was in a Reddit thread, and it was like, what's the craziest like story that you have of like substance, whatever. And the craziest stories, Scott Spud 91, thank you for the subscription, were not like, I took like a bunch of PCP and like absorbed 8 bullets from the police before they got me taken in, right? The craziest stories were like, well, I was jet lagged, so I took an Ambien, and I woke up like in my car 9 hours later with snacks. Like I'd driven to the grocery store well under the influence of Ambien, like while basically asleep. And this shit is terrifying me. Now I have to decide if I actually really want to try this because I'm going to be in an airplane.
Can't Kate supervise you for a while?
I don't know, man, because if we're on the plane, though, what if I start causing shit on the plane because I'm taking an Ambien and having some Ambien, like, dreams, then they might end up doing, like, a freaking emergency landing in Saipan or something like that, and I'll never be able to fly again.
I don't think it turns you into, like, a lunatic.
The thread had, like, child comments that came after that were like... Yeah, I took Ambien once. Or, like, one time, my ex-girlfriend took Ambien, and she phoned me. We had a 5-hour-long phone conversation about how I'm a piece of shit. And then, in the morning, I called her to check up on her, because she seemed weird. And she was like, what? Why are you calling me? Like, we haven't talked in years. And then... She had no memory until she checked her own call logs. It's freaking me out, man. If it was like, yeah, I took Ambien and then I shit myself, I'd be like, all right. At least if I shit myself, people will just be like, wow, that guy shit himself. But if I go ape shit on the plane, that's got serious consequences.
It's not even your shit. That's some ape's shit. So, like, you could just not take the Ambien as the other option.
Yeah, but
take
then I'm gonna be real sleepy. Oh,
no, there's probably a different pill.
Yeah, but then, like, I can get a different pill, but I'll have to go to the doctor. I don't know if my doctor's gonna be like...
You guys don't have over-the-counter sleeping pills?
Yeah, but the over-the-counter sleeping pills are like, there's a 2 kilograms of valerian root.
Kilograms.
We combined St. John's wort with valerian root, and I'm like, I don't buy that shit. I'm a scientist. you know, Air Canada usually has really shitty movies during the in-flight, so I'll just put on like Anchorman 2, and then hopefully that'll do the job.
Dude, yeah, Anchorman 2 will put you out.
I've already seen it, especially, and like almost fell asleep during it the first time.
That might give you brain damage. Then I probably don't recommend that. Just watch like a shitload of Hotel Impossible. That puts me to sleep. There's only so many episodes that you can watch of this guy like redesigning hotels at night before you eventually fall asleep.
Watch Tower Heist, NL.
Oh, you should absolutely do that.
I watched Tower Heist on a plane once. I didn't fall asleep.
Do it again.
Which is actually a pretty good measure.
Dude, I tweeted at Blanche Garcia from Hotel Impossible. It's like the interior designer, and she tweeted me back. I told her she does good work, and she said thanks.
That's very exciting for you, Nick.
Yeah. You're a real celebrity.
Is she? How many Twitter followers does she have?
I think 9,000. Actually,
I tweet you back all the time. I've got 54,000. Why don't I ever get a reaction?
Have you ever been on the Travel Channel Northern
I
Line?
never get a reaction like that. I got 5 times the Twitter followers.
You actually did get a reaction like that for like the first year every time we interacted.
Oh,
you just didn't know about it.
Oh, that makes me feel weird.
See?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't tell you.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
Emil should just have Kate smash his head with a rock. What the fuck?
There's some side effects to that too. If you wanna sleep, just watch your own stream. Fuck it, I'm just gonna have like 2 cocktails and an Ambien.
Just take some melatonin, man. Just take it one time.
Will they sell me a whole telegram without a doctor's note?
Melatomo. You should really air out that big pussy. Take NyQuil like a real man.
I think when you take NyQuil as a sleep aid, you should just go to the doctor and get some sleep medication, because that seems like that's worse. A family member of mine used to work at a radio station, and you know, like the morning shock jocks, basically, they gotta be there at like 3 a.m. She said like the dude would stay up until like 11 drinking, and then he would have like he'd have a bunch of NyQuil, and then just wake up at 3:30 and go to the radio station. And hey everybody, welcome to the Friday Morning Fart Show.
If I had to force that enthusiasm, I think I would just die.
Yeah, I mean he was making like 18 grand a year though, so he's living pretty good.
Well, I'm glad you put that qualifier on it. That really does kind of clear it all up.
I had testicular surgery when I was 16. They gave me like 10 Tylenol 3s, which are like bare minimum, like under the counter protein or prescription protein. Codeine is what I meant to say. And I took like 2 of them, and I was like, I don't want this shit in my body, and then just got rid of the rest. But then my nuts really hurt, and I regretted it.
I mean, you didn't have to get rid of them.
I don't know. It was a principal thing. I thought I was CM Punk or something, even though CM Punk was like 11 when I was in high school. Did you see that story? There's like a Chinese airline.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the dude, it was his first flight ever, and they were taxiing on the runway. Motherfucker opens up the emergency hatch to get some air.
Just want to air out that pussy.
NL's big puss needs an airplane. Thank you very much for the subscription. Do you have
get that pussy a bigger box, man? Ever think about how uncomfortable testicles really are? Colin Mockery. I mean, you don't until you realize they are, I guess.
Don't call me Colin Mockery just because I'm bald and Canadian. I don't consider myself a professional comedian.
Professional Canadian is what you're gonna say there.
I'm not a professional Canadian either. I'm quite amateur. Buy the melatonin, you egg. Has just subscribed. Oh, melatonin's a hormone has just subscribed. That's fine. I don't want to fuck up my endocrine system. Let's just put like some pharmaceuticals in it instead.
What is your preference for ice? Do you like chipped, shaved, cubed, or a sphere? Because that's now an option.
I don't like ice in my drinks.
Well, if you had to.
If I had to, I would say give it to me without ice. If I get a glass of water, I just 2-shot it right there. And I'm like, you know what? That biological need is taken care of temporarily. It's like I'm playing The Sims or something like that. Any kind of liquid that is placed in front of me for the purposes of imbibing is gone within 3 or 4 minutes.
You're like the Biznap of fluids.
I am a speed-running fluid consumer, definitely. Nick, are you going to argue for the spheres?
Well, I just think it's kind of cool, but I don't really have a good reason why. It's just kind of a visual thing, I guess.
Oh, yeah. That solid is spherical. Oh, that's amazing. First spherical solid I've ever seen in my life.
We're pretty used to cubed ice, man. I'm in favor of mixing it up a little bit.
I'm just picturing people, oh, you know, I don't know what it is, but the Diet Dr. Pepper just tastes a little bit better when it's got the spheres instead of the fucking cubes.
I found out about this thing called fish tank kings. They build incredibly elaborate and confusing fish tanks in places where fish tanks probably aren't necessary, like behind a fucking home plate at a baseball stadium in Miami.
It's all about the Miami Marlins.
Yeah. I don't think they put any marlins in the actual fish tank. Unfortunately, they're kind of big.
I mean, it's also kind of like, you know, your baseball team's named after a fish. I don't think you want to, like, have it in captivity. Sends the wrong message. Red's coming back, baby.
Keeping me in the cage. Nobody does that.
There is, like, absolutely no shortage of bullshit reality shows now, aren't there? I want to watch a show about people who install big fish tanks. Fish Tank Kings, that's the one you're looking for. You could also watch Aquarium Aristocrats, but that's over on the Style channel. It's not. It
kind of like the name.
Doesn't have quite the budget that the A&E version, Fish Tank Kings, has. At least you're not one of the 13,000 people that I follow on Twitter tweeting about watching Friends for the first time because they just added it to Netflix. Yo, dog, have you heard of this show? Yo, Chandler's pretty funny, though.
Yeah, I've watched Friends already.
They all have distinct personalities, man.
They're like characters in a script.
Down, down, down.
Yeah, I'm not going to be tweeting about Friends, but I might tweet about Hotel Impossible again if there's more of it someday.
Well, if Blanche Dubois gets her way, then...
It's Blanche Garcia. Don't call her Dubois.
If she gets to 15,000 Twitter followers, she'll start a thunderclap.
Dude, we should thunderclap.
I'm not going to thunderclap Blanche Dubois, Nick.
Stop calling her Blanche Dubois. It's Garcia. We should get her more followers for her business so she has a better day.
I honestly don't give a shit if her business succeeds or fails. Anyway, thanks for watching. In 3 minutes, we'll be back to play Lethal League, and I'll see you there. We'll be back to play Lethal League in 3 minutes. See you there.
Apparently, we're going to be back to see some Lethal League.
See you there.